Hello and good morning, and welcome to today's webcast presentation where Arctic Paper will present its Q2 report for 2023. If you have any questions, please use the form that is located to the right and we'll take that up during the Q&A section. And with that said, I'll give the word to you guys. Please go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My name is Marek Jarczyński. I'm the CEO of Arctic Paper. And together with Katarzyna Wojtkowa, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Arctic Paper, we would like to present to comment our performance in Q2 and half years of 2023. Start some figures. Katarzyna, please.
Good morning, everyone. As you know, we have released our Q2 results yesterday. Apparently we have experienced decrease of our net sales, which is mostly due to the lower volume of pulp and paper. And this lower volume is mostly due to the recession that we experience on the European markets, which in turn causes the lower demand for our products. But despite of these lower volumes, we still are generating cash. We have positive cash flows, strong balance sheet, and we are a debt-free company. If you could go to the next one. As a pulp and paper industry, we kind of feel like we are a bit cyclical and we experience worse and better periods. And when the COVID was coming to an end, or more or less ending, we experienced a huge revival on the market. And this turned into our excellent results into 2022. Still, from the end of 2022, we have experienced the economic downturn. Well, this downturn is lasting almost up to now, so more or less 8-7 months.
Pulp and paper sector as a forest-based industry is very cyclical. I'm in the business since 25 years, and we have a lot of years with a good performance and bad performance. And I think that Arctic Paper is big enough to be efficient and strong enough to be flexible, and we are able to adapt to the market changes. Looking for the paper perspective, looking for the European paper market, you can see that it was quite flat for several years. Recently, after the COVID, was a booming on our sector, and then we were able to increase the prices on a monthly basis. This is the reason why last year the demand for the paper was extremely high, and all pulp and paper producers were able to maximize their result. Definitely 2022, it was the outstanding year on the whole European pulp and paper business. Since November last year, we noticed significant drop on demand. And if we just compare 2023 versus 2022, especially the first 6 months, we see drop of demand between 30 even to 40%. And also it had a significant impact for the volume. But already some years ago, we decided to be more focused regarding to maintain profitability versus to fight for market share and to grab extra volume. And this is the reason that we were able to stabilize our performance. Last quarter was the lowest quarter during the last 5 years regarding capacity utilization. Normally, during the last 5 years, the average was between 85 to 92%. You can see on this chart that definitely 2022 was extremely good year, but the end was already noticed some recession. But still, I think that even with 55% capacity utilization in Q2, the result what was delivered by the group is significant. Looking for the prices, we were able, together with our European partners, as other pulp and paper mills, able to stabilize the prices. That it seems that most of the market players decided to streamline the production and to make some market-related stops to stabilize the prices. Even the Arctic was able to stabilize the prices, and our prices were on near the same level like even a year ago, which is quite significant. To emphasize regarding our market share and where we are the medium-sized European company focusing on the few selected subsegments, especially regarding the premium book paper and premium graphic paper. Regarding the book paper, the product which are delivered by 2 Swedish mills, Munket as Grix, for the premium top qualities, and we are number 1 in Europe. Also, we are number 1 regarding design paper for marketing and other applications. Arctic is focused on Europe. Over 95%, well, 98% of our business is dedicated for Europe, that we are so dependent on Europe, but we have quite healthy split between the countries. The biggest market for us is Germany, the second one is Poland, and then followed by Austria, Central Europe, and Scandinavia, that we are able to adopt regarding the fluctuation of the national economies. Unfortunately, since beginning of this year, we notice stagnancy on the all across Europe, and it seems that even the biggest market for us, Germany, is also significant drop regarding the demand. Who is our clients? We are trying to also to create some kind of healthy structure of the distribution. We are selling direct to the printers. We have a direct access to publishers across Europe, but as well we are using the merchants channels to be able to deliver the product to the medium and small size printers across Europe. And details regarding the pulp performance, which is performed by Rottneros, probably you are very familiar because it's already published a few days ago. And also the pulp sector is also affected by global recession and some kind of stagnancy. We're also active regarding packaging, and regarding the volume, we have noticed significant drop compared to the last year. And it's also affected by recession in Europe. It seems that graphic sector, packaging business, and some other activities is also affected by the recession. And it seems that demand for packaging product also dropped by 20 to 25% during the last 6 months. Power is our strategic choice to develop and to diversify our business. And we already 2 years ago published our strategy that we would like to invest a lot of money to increase our energy independence, to produce much more energy on site, to be more competitive compared to the continental Europe producers. But as well, we see that profitability to produce and to deliver energy in Poland and in Sweden and even in Germany is more profitable compared to the long-term average profitability on the pulp and paper sector. This is the reason that's already decided to invest in some project, and some project is already in the pipeline. Recently, a few days ago, we signed a contract to build a solar park of 16 megawatt in the Kostrzyń mill, and already this week the project has been started. That I'm today in Kostrzyń mill and I saw the excavation work, and the project will be in operation by spring next year. It will be mainly dedicated to deliver the energy to the grid, which is quite profitable. Please point out that there is a significant difference between energy prices in Sweden or in Scandinavia and energy prices in Germany and in Poland. Just to give you some figures, the average price for the Q2 in Sweden was between 35 to 45 euros per megawatt hour, but in Poland or Germany was between 95 to 120. It seems that when the CapEx is the same, it makes more sense to invest sometimes to produce energy in Poland or in Germany. Then additional project which is already started in Kostrzyń mill is to install 1.2 megawatt solar installation on the roof. And also it would be ready by end of Q1 next year, to be able to absorb the energy from the next sun season. Then recently, even yesterday, it was information that we decided to put close to 285 million Swedish crowns to make a modernization expansion of our biofuel installation in Grycksbo mill. It means that we are expecting to have some energy saving by 50 million Swedish crowns per year, but as well, we would like to develop our new business to produce up to 50,000 tons of pellets, and it will be mainly dedicated for continental Europe. We have already started to have some contract with Polish buyers and buyers in Germany, and the installation will be ready by 2025.
Whereas the packaging and power segments are for the time being supporting our main segments, which is pulp and paper, these two main segments are what we feel more or less protecting themselves, and they are complementary, whereas usually they are in a kind of a counter phase of a market situation. When the pulp is going well, then the paper is a bit weaker, and vice versa. As we know, 2022 was really excellent, and despite of the worst results of 2023, in comparison to the last average of the last 5 or 10 years, it's really not bad, especially considering the low capacity utilization. We think that our group is well organized and resistant in these turbulent times. As you can see, the EBITDA, this is the quarterly EBITDA evolution for the last 10 years. And if we take out the exceptional to 22, we are back on the quarterly average for the last 10 years. Our company, our group has a strong balance sheet. As you can see that we are almost debt-free. We have good equity. And as you can see, the net profit per share, we are still profitable. And this profitability that we have now, even if we consider 2022 a worse year, it's still higher than it used to be previously before 2022.
And I think that our shareholders are happy because we pay a high dividend. It was a yield of 13%, and it was paid months ago. And our aim is to continue with our dividend policy that between 20 to 40% of our profit will be shared with our investors. Few focus regarding the current performance and the future. We have still inflation, we have a recession across Europe, but it's quite important to emphasize that we are well prepared for the turbulent time. We have a strong balance sheet, we have no debt, we have several projects which are more focused to develop long-term competitive advantages of our mills, and as well we are growing regarding our two new promising and future-oriented segments, packaging and energy. Already several projects has been regarding the energy has been already started. We have some projects which are on the pipeline to be announced in coming quarters. And as well regarding the packaging and cooperation with Rottneros, I would like to emphasize that our joint venture project regarding production plan to produce molded pulp trays in Kostrzyn are in the according to plan. And by spring next year, we will start to produce replacement for the plastic, means green products, fiber trays. All right, thank you from our perspective and looking for questions from your side, please.
Okay, thank you very much for that presentation. And now we'll jump into the Q&A section. And we'll start with the first question here. Could you provide more insight into the company's four-piece strategy for future growth opportunities?
Absolutely. We discovered that we are looking for kind of synergies. We are strong in the pulp, we are strong in the paper, and then we decided in which areas it would be necessary to develop the company and to invest to create a long-term strategy for the future of the company. As what already mentioned, we are in the cyclical business. There are the good years for pulp and bad years for the paper, and there are some good years for paper and bad for pulp. By combination of these two segments, we have some kind of financial hedging that we have resilient results, stable results, which are, I think, welcome by the investors. And then regarding packaging and power, we decided that it would be necessary to develop, and this global trend to go out of the plastic and replace with green packaging is interesting for us because we have products, we have experience, and especially this molded pulp project in Kostrzyn, it will be a demo plan because we have a plan to expand across Europe and not only in Europe. Regarding the power, looking even for the last 18 months, you are able to notice that there was a lot of turbulence and the the demand of energy is growing. The prices are growing, and we already 2021 beginning decided that it would be smart to put money to produce energy for our operation and as well to invest. Looking for the average profitability on the power segment, the EBITDA is around 30 to 40, 50%, which is quite difficult to achieve in our conservative pulp and paper sector. This is our aim to keep still our strong legs on the pulp and paper, but to use our strong financial resources to develop the most promising and growing segment, means packaging and power.
And with the ongoing inflation and recession concerns in Europe, how is Arctic Paper preparing to navigate potential challenges in the graphical and packaging markets, especially if demand remains low?
As we have already started some times ago to have a strong balance sheet, we decided to repay several debt because we expected that war in Ukraine and as well some kind of turbulent period in Europe will create inflation and as well rise financial costs. But due to the fact that we were able to repay the debt and our financial costs are very, very, very low. Definitely, regarding the currencies, the hedge between buying in dollars, buying in Swedish krona, selling in partly in dollars, in Swedish krona and euro, give us a quite strong balance sheet. That I think that we are a silent company, well prepared for turbulent time. And even the size of the company I have already mentioned is a proper size for this economy today. We are not too big. It seems that we have no problem just to convert one paper machine with 500,000 ton capacity. And we are not a small company with only one paper machine, that we are able to maneuver and to be flexible and to adopt regarding market changes. Yes, definitely the demand for paper is dropping between 2 to 4% per year due to digitalization, due to changes in the human behavior. But always in this big paper market, we are able to find some niches. The niches which are quite stable, resilient, and even growing. Looking for our main product means premium book paper. In Europe, this is roughly 120 to 140,000 tons demand per year. And this is the same amount, very stable for the last 10 years, despite ebooks, despite Kindles, despite digitalization. And then we are also present regarding the electronic media, because we are also producer of paper for digital printing, that we are able to find some niches which are quite interesting from our perspective, that we are able to generate reasonable profitability.
And what risks do you foresee that could impact Q3?
The risk which we see is already that expected recovery of the economy across Europe is not coming in this summer. We have already some signals regarding some kind of recovery across Europe end of September, beginning of October. Even looking from the order backlog perspective, we are quite optimistic for the remaining part of the year. But it seems that probably Q3 will be similar market and business condition like in Q2. But even with quite low, from my perspective as CEO, quite low capacity utilization, 55% only, we were able to deliver this result. From my perspective, this 660 million Swedish crowns EBITDA for the 6 months of the recession is quite nice. Please remember that already 5-7 years ago, our annual EBITDA was even lower compared to our 6 months EBITDA. But I think that we did a great job and our company is well organized and well prepared for incoming challenges.
And looking at your geographical markets, is there any market that stands out where you see an increase in demand?
I see some positive trend regarding the Central Europe. It seems that after the COVID turbulence and some kind of constraints on the logistic connection, several European publishers decided to back with their orders from China, from Asia to Europe. It seems that they are looking for reliable printers located in the cheapest part of Europe, in Central Europe, and which are able to deliver the books to the bookstores in 1 week, not in 1 quarter. That I think that our position to be close to Polish, Baltics, Czechia and Slovakia printers, it's a great advantages regarding logisticals, and we would like to develop. Already Poland is our second biggest market with 17%, not due to local demand, but definitely at least 40% of the printing industry in Poland is dedicated for export. The same in Baltics and the same in Czechia.
And is there anything in your pipeline that you could comment on today?
Of course, we have several ideas, but according to rules, we would like to disclose to our investors and to the market when the project is decided or started. This is the reason why we spent several months to prepare a feasibility study for the Grixpo investment. And when it was decided, then immediately we published this information. And I think even for from Grixpo perspective, from the Falun region, this project gives us a long-term competitive, and it will guarantee that the paper mill in Grixpo, which has already 280 years history, has a nice view for the future as well.
Okay, we'll take one final question here. What can investors expect of Arctic Paper in the remainder of 2023?
You should not compare us 2023 to 2022. After it was presented and commented by Katarzyna, it was extremely year, not only for Arctic, but for all pulp and paper companies. And it will be difficult to make a copy of this result this year or even the next year. But our aim is to deliver a dozen results. Already, I'm quite satisfied with the results. But as I mentioned, we are focused more regarding profitability versus the volume. And our aim is to create a dozen results, and finally to offer to the shareholders the dividend according policy. As I mentioned, 20 to 40% of the profit should be distributed among shareholders. And the company is strong enough to continue our development and to continue our already decided in the future projects to deliver the great value to the market.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for presenting today and answering all of our questions. And a big thanks to all you who follow along Arctic Paper's Q2 for 2023 presentation. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and until next time, thank you, guys, and goodbye.
Thank you very much.
You.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.